Earlier on the channel, I have already made many videos about legendary judokas who left a significant mark in history. Of course, most often they were judokas from Japan, because in the homeland of this wonderful sport, they are the best. But here about the legends of Soviet judo, I spoke much less, and there's also someone to tell about. For example, about the athlete who was recognized as one of the best judokas of the 20th century, the outstanding Soviet judoka Nikolay Solodukhin. 1980 Olympic champion in Moscow, two-time world champion 1979 and 1983, European champion 1979, five-time champion of the Soviet Union, and honored master of sports of the Soviet Union. Nikolay Solodukhin was born on January 3, 1955 in the small village of Posirkovo near Zheleznogorsk, Kursk region into a family of collective farmers. From a young age, the future champion was a very hard-working child and never shirked from work. And to work in the village, of course, had to work a lot. And Nikolay, along with his brothers and sisters, naturally every day helped their parents in the household. But despite the strong fatigue, in his free time, he never refused to chase a ball with the village boys or wrestle with them. As his older brother Vladimir recalled that Nikolay often returned home late at night, all in abrasions and bruises, but very happy, and told the following: "Defeated today Petya and Mishka, although they are training in the section in Zheleznogorsk. I will go to the city as soon as I finish the 8th grade of school." Having finished the 8th grade, Nikolay entered a technical school. He was patient and diligent, and devoted all his free time to sports, namely Sambo. That very soon gave its positive results, and after only a year of regular training, Nikolay won the Zheleznogorsk Sambo Championship among juniors. Then it became clear that the young wrestler has excellent talents and they need to be developed. Later, the judoist recalled that training was always a pleasure for him, and he did his best to improve his skills every day. After leaving the school, Solodukhin went to Kursk, where he joined the police force and became interested in judo wrestling, a martial art in which he would achieve the highest results and write his name in the history of domestic and world sports. After 4 years of training, in 1975, unknown at that time in the sports world, Nikolay Solodukhin went to the Spartakiad of the Peoples of the Soviet Union. Solodukhin's performance at this tournament was amazing. Almost all his fights, he finished early and as a result became the champion of the Spartakiad. It was very unexpected because shortly before the Spartakiad, he lost the Youth World Championship held in Brazil. But it was this upsetting loss that made Nikolay work even harder in training. Hard-working and self-loving Nikolay, who was not used to sparring himself, began to persistently hone his technique, and as a result, he was no equal in the parterre, and later he was even nicknamed King of Parterre. The transition to the next, namely to the international level, took Nikolay 4 years, so that once again Solodukhin was talked about in 1979, when he won first at the European Championships and then at the World Championships. By the way, a year before these victories, Nikolay Solodukhin became a silver medalist at the European Championship, thus once again declaring his potential. In 1980, the Summer Olympic Games in Moscow were held, which were important for the then leadership of the Soviet Union. The Soviet athletes were tasked with winning the maximum number of medals in all disciplines in order to show the West how strong the Soviet Union was in sports. As for judo, one of the main contenders for gold in judo competitions was Solodukhin, who later lived up to the expectations placed on him and coped with the task. Solodukhin left no chance for victory to the strongest judokas of the world, because becoming the Olympic champion in Judo in the weight category up to 65 kilograms. After these Olympic Games, in the following years, Nikolay Solodukhin repeatedly became a prize winner and winner of major international competitions, as well as championships of the Soviet Union. In particular, in 1983, Solodukhin became world champion for the second time. At the end of his sports career, Nikolay Solodukhin returned to his native Kursk, where he lives now. He runs a judo school, bringing up a new generation of judokas who now compete in various competitions in Russia and the world.